Hey, how you doing? Welcome to a brand new episode of Garage 101 driven by VTK Jeep. My name is Vignesh Ramakrishnan from toycarpal.com and I'm your host for the show. First things first is the major change in the auto insurance policies, and therefore you might want to have a look into this because this could impact your car's cost. And second, we have a major unveil of a SUV, which is a huge transformation from what it was earlier. And number three, you might have to watch out for this particular eagle that lands on the roads sometime very soon. Stay tuned in. You might have seen headlines splashed across newspapers in the news you read on the internet about how cars are going to get cheaper from August 2020 onwards. In fact, even major publications like the Quint messed it up. They reported incorrect news with incorrect numbers. But let's give you the complete clarity of what's changed and what's not. First up, the car prices haven't changed. It is the insurance values that have gotten adjusted. But before all that, let's get deeper into understanding what exactly constitutes your motor insurance, right? One, there's something called a third party cover, which means that your car on the road is a risk to every other car on the road, and it's the most minimum insurance you have to take, and it's therefore the least that you need to make your car or bike road legal in this case, right? So when your cops stop you and ask you for insurance papers, it's sufficient that you have only your third party insurance. And then there's something called the own damage cover, which means that we as car owners or bike owners have a bad day sometimes, right? And then we have this brush against the wall or another car and so on. So we have this to protect ourselves from damage. So this is called a comprehensive cover, and you can also take additional covers on top of that, like your zero depreciation or an engine safe and return to invoice and covers like that. So let's break it down for you, right? So what really changed was that way back in 2018, IRDA changed the way the insurance policies are structured. So they realized with data the number of cars and bikes that are being registered in year one, for example, and the number of cars and bikes being reinsured in year two weren't exactly tallying. That means that people weren't renewing their insurances at all, which is again a huge risk. So they introduced two concepts. Concept number one, the bundled cover, which means that you can take 1 year's own damage and 3 years third party. Now 3 years third party coverage is mandatory and the 1 year own damage is optional, so you can always take it up if you want to moving forward. And then there's something else called the long term package. It's 3 years own damage and 3 years third party cover, which is basically you can just forget about insurance for the next 3 years of your car's ownership. So what really happened? Why this major change? It's because car insurance companies were stuck with car owners who are making claims left, right, and center, which basically made it unprofitable. And number two, car owners were stuck with insurance companies that weren't really at the best of their services. So in order to make this a level playing field, this whole long-term package is gone. The real question is, was it really worth all this trouble? Not really. Talking about insurance, I can always assure you that the next car we're going to be talking about is not just the car, but it's the Thar. The Mahindra Thar is finally here with the 2020 version. So this one gets a BS6 rated 2.2 liter diesel, which is good for 130 horsepower and 320 Nm of torque. But that's really not the highlight. The highlight is that for the first time ever, you get a BS6 rated 2 liter turbo petrol in the Thar, which is just phenomenal because this is actually a very interesting engine. 150 horsepower and 300 Nm of torque, which is phenomenal power output for a 2 liter petrol, turbo petrol in fact. And this is not just it. You also get a 6-speed torque converter automatic for the first time ever. So you're looking at two engine options, a 2.2 liter turbo diesel, a 2 liter turbo petrol, a 6-speed manual and a 6-speed torque converter automatic. And what's more interesting than all of these is that Mahindra has finally understood that there are two kinds of people who like the car. One, the adventurer who likes to go off-road, and then there's the other urban person who's looking to have the mighty road presence of the Thar in the city. So therefore you have two versions. You have the AX, the adventure series, and then the LX, which is the lifestyle series. We don't have the prices yet, but we reckon it's going to be somewhere between the 10 and 14 lakh price point.
which means that it sort of targets everything from the EcoSport and the Nexon all the way up to a Hyundai Creta or a Kia Seltos, which means that it's a huge market segment for the Thar if they strike the right chord with the people who are going to be interested in that.
Talking about the Thar, we also have a Jeep in the house, which is the Jeep Compass Night Eagle. Now the Night Eagle is not a regular Compass, it is in fact a limited edition based on the Longitude Plus variant. Night Eagle comes with the 1.4 litre turbo petrol with 7-speed DCT, the 2 litre diesel with the 6-speed manual, and the 2 litre diesel with 4x4 and 9-speed torque converter automatic, which means that it covers most of the Jeep Compass's powertrain setup. But what's really important is the changes that's inside and the outside. To give that touch of exclusivity, even the Jeep logo is blacked out, and you get a lot of these black inserts on the outside as well as the inside. Even the 18-inch alloys are black. On the inside you get black inserts on the dashboard to give you that sort of sporty appeal, and you also get part leather seat upholstery. Now the Jeep Compass Night Eagle comes at a pretty good pricing of 20.14 lakhs for the petrol DCT and goes up to 23.31 for the 4-wheel drive diesel automatic. So the Night Eagle is basically a very special edition that's marking Jeep India's 3rd anniversary of operations in India. But for more information about the Compass Night Eagle and a complete car review, stay tuned to Chennai Live. Thank you again for tuning in. My name is Vignesh and this is Garage 101, the auto show that drives you. So I will catch you next week with more news and views from the automotive industry. Until then, drive safe.